Jenna Ortega is one of the actresses who have played Wednesday Addams, and as the Netflix series Wednesday is named after the character in English, some fans have wondered why in Spanish it is called differently. That's why here in this video, we will explain the reason for this name change, and not only to Wednesday. But before I invite you to subscribe to this channel and activate the notification bell to be one of the first people to comment and watch my video. We know that since Netflix premiered its series about the Addams family focused on Wednesday, not only left some things up in the air, but it has also raised doubts about the character's name change in Spanish. The Netflix production in English has the name Wednesday, but in Spanish-speaking Latin American countries does not have the literal translation of its name that would be Miercoles, but is called Merlina. This name is given long before the famous interpretation of Christina Ricci as Wednesday in the movies of the 90s, as it is something that comes along with the first adaptation of the Addams family to television. And the question on everyone's mind is, why is Wednesday called Merlina in other countries? Since the characters were brought to Latin American audiences with the Addams Family series that lasted from 1964 to 1966, the dubbing artists decided to change the names of the characters. As television content was not as massive and did not have as much reach as it does today, the rules of dubbing were not as delimited, and those in charge of dubbing were free to change things as they wished. That's how back then characters like Gomez became known as Homer, Uncle Fester as Lucas, Pugsley as Pericles, Thing as Fingers, and Wednesday as Merlina. Keep in mind that these names I mentioned at this time would be for the Spanish version. The fact that Wednesday became Merlina and not Miercoles is due to the fact that the name is not very common, and it was decided to use one that sounded similar. Even in other countries her name is not Merlina. In case you didn't know, in the TV series she also has Friday as a middle name, which means Viernes in Spanish, while in Spain the first name of the Addams daughter is Wednesday, but in Brazil it is Wandihna. What does Wednesday's name mean in the Netflix series? In the original comic strip by Charles Addams, published in the newspaper, The New Yorker, the character of Wednesday had no name, but when the series was made, the little girl of the Addams family needed to have one. The actress and poet Joan Blake suggested to Charles Addams to take the name of a lullaby that names every day of the week. That's how he came up with the peculiar name Wednesday. The full lullaby reads: Monday's child has a pretty face. Tuesday's child is full of grace. Wednesday's child is full of regret. Thursday's child go far shall. Friday's child is kind and generous. This is referenced in the series, both in English and Spanish. In the first chapter, the headmistress of the Nevermore Academy asks Morticia and Homer why they named her daughter Wednesday. The mother answers that it was because of the lullaby, although in English it is because of the name of the day, while in Spanish Morticia says, Un sombrío día nació Merlina, that's mean, a somber day Merlina was born. Although she was born on Friday the 13th, her name is related to the somberness of the weekday described in the lullaby, as Wednesday's child brings sorrow, which is in keeping with the personality of Merlina's character. After watching this video, you will be able to understand the name change, which has been from the beginning. Let me know your opinion in the comments. And if you liked this video, subscribe to this channel so you can stay informed about all your favorite artists.